Yeah, do we jump into the replayer to look at some hands? What hands were interesting? No. Everything just played itself.
I don't remember any hand in particular, but you won EV wise. Also,
yeah. I won EV wise?
Yeah.
Well, how is that possible?
Also, I wasn't winning everything. I mean, net one chips I have on the minus.
You see? I just wanted to give you this feeling.
Yeah.
What can I tell you? Sometimes you just have to pretend that you are more stupid than you are. You know, we are strippers.
Oh, yeah.
Entertain others and meanwhile just no, but obviously the match was very, very interesting. It was, I mean, it was super hard for me to, I felt I'm just running bad in that way that I was playing super low c-bet strategy, and then whenever I probed, I had to fold because I haven't had anything. Whenever I delay, you had fold versus delay like 0 out of 8, and I obviously never had a hand. So
yeah, I mean, you actually probably you run bad there, as I also saw that your fold versus my probe was like 11 out of 12 at the end of the match, so it was pretty high, to be honest.
And I was like, checking my whole range. I was like very often checking. You have seen I had to check my straight from the flop, like plenty of top pairs, over pairs, like checking all the time. Oh yeah,
It worked a few times though. I think.
Yeah. You made a few spazzy calls, and that was the thing that you were winning, as you can see in the graph. I was winning big pots because you were making these big spazzy calls, right? And yeah, but overall, I'm happy that my red line was not going down because you were playing super sticky and pretty aggressive. So it was like part of my aim not to lose some additional chips against your battles or moves. So yeah, that's why my low c-bet and so on. I wanted to reach as many showdowns as possible.
Pretty fine.
Okay, so we had some interesting hands. What was the interesting hand? Raise, check, bet. Let me see from the biggest pots. We can check a few hands. So, right, I raised tens, I checked. Right, I thought it's a perfect spot where you have plenty of these pair plus draws. My range doesn't look so good, could be lots of stuff. And the queen, actually, obviously there are some queens like, I don't know, that you could check call. Like, I think most of the queen eights or queen of hearts, you might actually be probing. So I think I feel pretty safe. So
yeah, so my reasoning to check again with the flash was if you check on this kind of flop, Jack 7-4, I expect you to at least have one heart, mostly. Like, I'm not expecting you to check here with, I don't know, 9 deuce of diamonds, right? So I'm expecting a lot of, especially if you're low c-bet, a lot of delays. And I just don't need to, protect from anything with my flash. So I was quite confident that I get 2 barrels. So yeah, that's why I checked the turn and not probe.
Yeah, for sure, I agree that if I bet the turn, I have to barrel the river. And on the flop, I would very frequently check like hands like whatever, 9 deuce. However, obviously, if I had some queen, whatever, probably I might just triple barrel or some hands like that. What else? 3-bet pot, whatever, the first hand, right? defend, right? Check call. Yeah, I check raise the turn, jump river, and you made a call here.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Obviously, because the 5 also completes. If I had some light check call flops, these would be whether king high or these gotcha draws. So these wheel draws. So the 5 makes me complete stuff. But I think I would, if like my goal is to possibly try to fold you from a king, but I don't have air cards, so I think it's very hard spot for me to balance my check raising range. But obviously, this is the thing: you give your opponent, you need to give your opponent a chance to hang himself.
I wouldn't call it. I mean, I think it was even pre-recording this hand, the king 8. I was like, okay, and yeah, it doesn't make much sense now.
Yeah, that was interesting. There's min raising with the plan to fold, right? The gut shot on the board where you cannot really have many aces. Also, most of the suited hands you just check raise. Some open shot pre-flop. So I'm not afraid of a flush draw on the flop. Yeah, so just min raising, and then shitty turn. We have pretty low SPR, so for sure no need to increase the size. Just go with it. Right, we check call. That was interesting. So I thought that there are not that many kings that we bet the flop with, because it's a flop where we mostly check our ace highs, king highs. So it looked for me more of some 7-8s, 3x's, 4x's, right, stuff.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like my bet there on the turn with 8s. I think it's very nice.
Yeah, on this board I don't have that many kings as well. So, and on the river that's thin, especially that if I call the overbet on the turn, I have to have something like pair plus draw. So the diamond on the river is like not that bad to think value bet, or not that good to think value bet.
I don't know. I mean, I had one diamond at least, and then the fact that this king is, you know, as you said, you thought I have mainly on this king that I don't have many kings and I have more 7-8s and hands like that. So I was quite confident that you could call me down with like a queen 6 here, for example. And I didn't see that many diamonds. Obviously, there were some. It is thin, I agree. But
yeah, it could have merit, right? Probably with the 6, I would call it down as well, because it's like the top of my range. Pre-flop, check, right? Big check raise. Also with a great kicker, I like it. With some trees, backdoors, and so on, probably. Or gut shots, I would use the lower size. But here, for example, if I had 9-10 with the backdoor flush draw, I would do the same with the same size. So lots of turns where I could improve, I would just jump as well. So a bit of a cooler, right? 3-bet Jack 7, right bottom calling range, so okay to 3-bet, and you clicked. So here I have such odds that I can call everything.
Yeah.
Rather classic check call because your range is crazily random. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I did usually I would go with a bit bigger sizing to there, but making a click, it was like SPR 1, so it's like 1/3 isolation, for example, and I was just ready to stack it off on any board. So
yeah, the problem is with giving me very good price to call. So I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, you know, there's some merit with that.
I mean, I have a range advantage with ace queen, right? For sure,
yeah,
with your free betting range, and I'm in position. I have SPR 1. It's like
it's just matter of giving me very good.
Yeah,
it's just matter of very good giving me very good odds. So, but if my 3-betting range is polarized, but this is the thing, my 3-betting range is not that polarized that I have some deuce pre-offsuit that I cannot call. I'm more frequently going to have some bottom calling range like king deuce, king 3, king 4, queen 6, queen 7, jack 6. So these hands still can afford calling the click. right?
Yeah, sure.
So,
But if I have at least this one card, a queen, king, or jack, it also makes sense as I
yeah, I
dominate
mean,
you a lot.
it's for sure interesting, makes sense. Check, check. And now I thought that if I check called the flop and the rivers and like if there's on it's ace and 10, I don't have many air cards in my range. So I prefer playing a check where I have more of a showdown value because I don't have air cards in my range. So you could go to try to block my 8, 10, or team value bet your hands.
Yeah.
I like your value bet, obviously. Check, 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 check. You had very high delay. And then simple thing. If I bet, I'll get calls from jacks and tens, and if I check, you will bet this.
Yeah,
So
very nice play.
All good VBV trick, right? You check it through, then you check jam river, and you get 50 VB value. So
yeah, it's great. I had this weird. I thought I had a tell that you just we were maybe talking about this other table, or we had a hand on the other table, and here it was like quite fast checking it down, like you have some kind of a pair probably. So a 10, it's also a split, so it makes it even worse. Yeah.
I mean, with the 10, I wouldn't check raise. I could check raise with the jack, for example, for sure.
Would you ever like do it with for bluff here?
Yeah, I could do it with the queen.
Yeah, that's like I talked myself into it, to be honest.
I mean,
yeah,
no.
it's a very nice play. I just don't see many people doing it ever, and that's why I wasn't that familiar with this kind of play, and I thought like, what? So yeah,
Triple check and jam.
Yeah, a very nice play.
Yeah, threes, some king jack. Oh, that was shitty. You 3-bet me. I called jacks. Check, check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the hand. Yeah,
Check.
just bet twice. And you had 9-4, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, check flop, pretty standard. My thought was that, like, what nines do you might have here, or tens that you decided not to see bet it or delay? And I was not convinced with the river value bet.
What do you do here with like queen jack, for example? Do you give up or jam?
I'll check it through.
Just check it through. Okay, yeah.
Just check it through.
Also, yeah, why I 3-bet range is also pretty random, and so realizing equity here with such a big pot, it's a good idea, I guess, in position, right?
Yeah, and also, this is a spot where I think you might have a lot of some pairs, slow plays. I don't have much. I'm cool that I called flops. I saw all cards, so I'm fine with that. That was for sure profitable, but I don't need to win every single pot.
Mm-hmm.
Some eyes shoves, check, check. Check raise with the topper. Right, so there are not many aces. I thought that you have more of gotchas or whatever, so like that's super small. You min raise. I call because you could have these gotchas in your range.
Yeah. I thought the min click looks weaker.
Yeah, I mean, you could call the min bet on the turn easily with gotchas. You could click it. I think both are fine. The same way I bet the river, as if this could be a block bet from an 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously on the river, I just have odds because everything is possible here. Yeah, nothing spectacular. Pre-flop, pre-flop, pre-flop. Bad check raise. I think it's an easy jam with best flush draws, because most likely you have a 4 here or a flush draw that I dominate. So
yeah,
just jamming it in. Pre-flop always, some kings. So I decided to jam here. Although I could bet 1.5. This jam might be just 2, or 1 BB. This jam might be.
Yeah,
too
I think.
quick, too quick. I don't like it. Right, just ISO. Right, that was interesting. I felt I thought about check jamming the turn, but I'm like you're not trapping much. I think with the 5, with the stack size, you could bet frequently. Probably it's better to just check call twice rather than just jam, because on this turn I could check calls on king highs, queen highs. 7 was, I wasn't that afraid of it because I thought that lots of the gut shots or stuff that's connected to 7, you might just see bet the flop, like some 7-9s, 7-10s. These are, you know, some gut shots.
You had quite a big check raise at this point, I guess, like 25 or 30. And I think I would still, that's how I did. Like I checked this 10-7, I tried to go with delays, and 6-7. I probably would even open and there I would check.
Okay. Pre-flop, pre-flop, pre-flop. Pre-flop. Check, check, right? Just checking topper over bet. And you had king 10, right?
Yeah.
So again, checking the flop just to strengthen this checking range. Oh, 6s. Right, I check call. And you had 8-6. Oh, you. Right, that was very close from calling the flop is close, because I think if you had something like Jack 10, Jack 9, 9, 10, you might not be betting that frequently.
Yeah, I would probably check those, yeah.
So I think that actually folding might be just best here. Right, called the free bet. And jump to
Jack 6 here.
Yeah, we had already 16 BB in the pot, so lots of air cards. If you have 2 overcards with the pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I folded.
Yeah. What else? Jack 7. Right, it went with a pot size bet float and fold.
I don't know. It's I will check what did I have there.
Probably a gotcha or something. 7-8. Min raise on the flop, jam in the turn. Right, isopod. Kings, check, 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 check jam on the turn. That's again, pot size bet folded.
Yeah, I had ace-7 here.
Okay. That was thin. I thought that with the queen, for sure you don't have a queen. You might have something like king jack, maybe ace jack. So I went with the thin raise.
I can't find those. I don't know. Ah, I know. I had a 9. Just a busted gut shot.
Yeah. I don't know. Right, bet 3 bet. Although call could be fine with this 3. I block lots of these gut shots. So, but we have already 5 BB in the pot, so I think it's close when I have only 6.4 behind. But that was funky.
That was sick. Yeah.
Bet 1 BB, right? To still give you room for calling these weak spades and river sucks. Maybe here I could increase the size to 2 BB. Maybe 1 BB is the lowest line too.
Yeah, I mean, I still, if I call twice, I most likely have some spade, right? So maybe
When was
I
the
can
last
talk
time you
myself.
had? When was the last time you had royal flush?
I don't know. But exactly, yeah, you had royal flush, nice. Yeah, I folded here Jack 7.
So it means that it was a very good check jam.
Yeah.
Right, it hit my range because the stuff was I mean, obviously it's a linked pot. My check calling range has.
What are you doing
here with
for free?
The same. I mean, obviously it depends on the opponent. Like 3-4 could be just check called.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking now. That if you have a straight here, you might be just calling.
No, for sure. I think on the turn, especially if I have a straight, I'm blocking your semi bluff, so you're more frequently value betting the ace or 7. So I'll just raise. I mean, because the 5 gives this double bell is. I think I have plenty of these I mean, I have these 3-5-4-5 hands that I would more frequently just check raise on the turn, and obviously, I might have these 3-4s. I think versus your size on this turn, I wouldn't expect you to bet fold too frequently. I'm surprised that you folded a 7, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I think it was a mistake. I mean, not by run out, but the fact that it's super frequent to check raise turn with pair plus draws on ace high board when we barrel. So yeah.
That was mistake for me. I isolated pre-flop, check flop, check turn. I checked. You bet 3/4, and here I just called. While I should just jump, because we're splitting, and you don't have ace, jack, king, jack, jack 8. You check twice, so probably not queen 10. So I should just jump to. I should just jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some action on the second table, so.
I had king 10 of hearts here.
Yeah, so that easy fold, but for sure with your high delay, I would just check raise all the flush draws here, and just rip it on the river. So.
Yeah, I was blocking everything.
Right, and that was the one of the last spots where I checked the flop, checked the turn.
And you asked me if I had the jack of hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Nice,
did have
nice.
jack 8. I had ace jack here.
Yeah, I thought that you have a jack. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was a spazz wide second barrel. Especially.
I would. I'm going three barrels here.
So why haven't you?
Because I hit a 9, and also you have some jacks there, so that's why on a blank I'm probably jamming the river. That's the idea.
Oh, that was close for me. I'm really curious what you had. I thought that this sounds like queen 6 of spades.
Of spades, yeah.
Yeah. But that was like part of the. This could be like 8-9. I thought of queen something with spades.
Yeah.
Right, and
queen 6 of spades, yeah.
Haven't I even listed out loud the combo?
You said 9-8, but I don't know if you said queen
I'm not
spades.
sure, but yeah. Check call, right here I called the flush and just called it triple.
Yeah, jack 7. I think even though it's so face up, I'm not going to check just because.
I don't. Yeah. I'm not sure.
You're not betting a 6.
The problem is that when you check call this structure, the problem is generally with check calling this structure. I don't think you should have check call on the structure. It should be check raise. Yeah, the jack 6 backdoors. Because right now, if you just check call, you're narrow jack or a 6, and obviously you could dunk jacks or a 6. You could have some king highs or queen highs, but I doubt you would dunk with king highs, queen highs. And for sure, you're not barreling and not with the small size king, queen, or 6. You're clearly on the jack.
Yeah, I am. But still, if I took the line on the turn, I think I still have to bet because you're not going to bet yourself with.
I mean, yeah, everything. Obviously, this is a situation which is pretty shitty that it's very easy to narrow your range to jacks.
Yeah.
Right, that was one of the adjusts. You've been in the 3-betting spree, so I min raised 3s to 4-bet. Right. Right, checking on the bid, on the overcards to still give you some room for like check raises. And I felt like, hey, if you're repping here some misgotchas or stuff, I'll maybe go for a min raise because it looks like a crap, and maybe this will convince you to still 3-bet a king or and for sure an 8, right? So I think with the 8, you might just even jump the river and I'll get the whole stack. While if I would raise like 7 or 8 BB, it might be like, hey, what are you actually trying to achieve? So 3 betting 7 views, and I just check folded to the float.
I wasn't connected to the board. I had like ace-3 or something.
Okay, so nice. Some limp jumps.
Okay, check back.
Check calling the ace and just folding the
I think I had the jack there. I just checked back the weak jack on the flop. I folded? No. What?
Yeah.
Is it from our hand? You also played
Maybe. Oh yeah, I played like
because you played with some random guy as well.
Yeah, it might be. At the beginning, first 2 hands, so yeah, it should be actually subtracted. Where's your verse?
Because
what's your nickname?
VersssPL. Free S's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw that the guy, the big blind
Right,
called, the big blind called
Yeah.
win race with 8-3 offset, and I'm like, what?
Okay, yeah. So I won 400 chips EV versus him. So we finished at minus.
Yes.
100. Okay, cool. So actually, these were the most interesting hands, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks Verss a lot for the match. It was really nice, really enjoyable. I hope you guys liked it as well. And yeah, see you in next matches.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Cheers.